The demon of the despicable domain roars at you, causing the hairs on the back of your neck to raise. It charges at you with astonishing speed. Oh, I held my action, so I'm going to use that now to use my slippers of spider climbing to climb the nearby statue. The demon follows, easily scaling the massive statue. Now that it has you in its reach, it swings at you with terrible black claws. You take 11 points of damage. Okay, well I was invisible, so I'm just gonna sneak up behind it and stab it in the back with my dagger. Stealth score of 18. Beat that. You scale behind the fiend, but as you pull back your blade, it sniffs the air, it smiles, and it turns to you. Okay, so this demon is fast, it climbs, it uses a claw attack, and it can track by scent. If I didn't know any better, I'd say the Dungeon Master here is using a bear. What kind of Dungeon Master would I be if I just kept reskinning bears and throwing them at you? A great one. Do you want to be a better Dungeon Master? Me too. Hi, William Tramp, also known as This Effin' GM here, and I'm here to let you in on a secret old school Dungeon Masters have known about for decades. When in doubt, remember that everything is a bear. There are a ton of books across a ton of tabletop role-playing games designed with the sole purpose of giving you access to new and exciting monsters to throw at unsuspecting players. I love them. Heck, I have a whole stack of them right here for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. The great thing about these books is that they give me options. With enough preparation, I should almost be able to find a stat block for any monster I can think of. The downside of these books are twofold. First, it's expensive to have a collection this large. Books aren't as cheap as they used to be, and PDFs aren't exactly being sold at pennies on the dollar. Second, it can be really overwhelming to try to keep track of what book has what. I can't tell you how many times I have had to pour through over half of these books when preparing one battle, trying to remember that one stat block for that one thing that I think I may remember when I read through this like way back a year ago. It would almost be faster sometimes just to make my own stat block. Now that's a great option as well. I could just go the homebrew route. And a lot of these monster manual type books have great rules for designing better monsters for your games. Something I think many of us can agree that the original monster manual for 5th edition sort of fumbled. Now, I love creating my own monsters and throwing them onto the table. It gives me a sense of accomplishment and lets me get some design practice in. But this can be time consuming, and I don't always have that kind of time, especially when I have 3 lovely children running around my house at any given time, and I have terrain orders piling up, and I've got videos to make, and I've got games to run, and it all just gets so overwhelming, but that's okay, because there's an easier way, and that is to remember that everything is a bear. This design philosophy is a Dungeon Master-friendly piece of advice that spans decades. The basic premise is this: bears are big. Bears are fast. Bears are attentive. And bears are powerful. And all of these traits are traits that we want most monsters to have. So when you need a big, fast, attentive, powerful monster to run, and you don't have time to create a new one or the funds to go buy a brand new book, why not just take a bear stat block and reskin it? Hell, if need be, add another ability to the stat block and you should still be good to go. Need a great winged dragon-like beast? Flying bear. An aquatic menace for the deep, dark depths? Water-breathing bear. A half-fire, half-earth elemental born of the deranged mind of a wizard who wants to create living magma? It's a bear with slightly higher armor class and then add a d4 of fire damage to its attacks. Okay. It doesn't have to be a bear, of course. Plenty of monsters are just variations on themes like strikers, lurkers, defenders, brutes, and other constructs pointed out by great designers. You can use those as other types of monsters. Taking things that have already been designed and making it your own is a time-honored tradition that has been utilized by every single dungeon master that I know. While it may not be as satisfying as creating an entire monster manual for every adventure you're going to run, and it may feel a little bit like cheating, the truly important work that needs to be shown at the table isn't the stat block, but rather the way you as a dungeon master utilize those stats in fun and challenging ways. And if you put your focus into making the new creature as believable as it can be, your players will probably never be any the wiser. So remember, everything is a bear.